And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to race number 8 of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. We are here at a historical track that unfortunately does not run anymore on the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series circuit, but that doesn't mean we're not visiting it here today for NNSCRA racing. We're here at North Carolina Speedway, better known as The Rock, for the Rockingham 200 here in Oreo Truck Series competition. Chris Washer, who went to victory lane for the first time in his Truck Series career last week at Pocono, he's going to start on the point for today's race, trying to go to victory lane in back-to-back Oreo Truck Series events. He'll line up alongside of former Truck Series champion Trent Dunham, who's trying to get his season turned around. Trent comes into this race currently sitting in position number 28. Washer, on the other hand, after his win, he's the guy trying to run down Caleb Farrell for the points lead, as he is right now runner-up in the overall Oreo Truck Series standings. LJ Mills going to line up on the inside of row number 2. LJ comes into this race currently sitting 32nd in points, so he could really use a good run today. And look who's lining up there in row number 4. Caleb Farrell, the points leader coming into this race. He holds a 22-point advantage over Chris Washer coming into today's event, and he'll start up inside the top 5. As a matter of fact, quite interesting, the top 3 in points starting up here in the top 5, because Jessica Shelton, 3rd in points, only 24 points out, will roll off from the 5th position. So this is going to be very interesting here, especially in the first few laps, to watch Washer, Farrell, and Shelton duke it out on track and potentially for spots in the chase for the championship as we get them rolling off. And you take a look at the top of your screen at your starting lineup. 20 laps of racing here at Rockingham. We gave you the top 3 coming into this point standings as far as today's race. Alex Pedro is 4th in points, Sean Galligan 5th, Nick Smith, Dylan Pote, Drew Austin, Bob Jones, and Brandon Crasta. That is the top 10 coming into today's race as they'll go by the camera situated on the outside safety barrier heading into 3. And we're about ready to turn them loose. Chris Washer trying to pick up his 2nd win of the season, and it would be actually back-to-back victories for that 5 team if he can do it. What are we going to see here at Rockingham? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. The Rockingham 200 at North Carolina Speedway is green. Chris Washer timed the jump perfectly. He's going to get out to the front. Trent Dunham now under fire for 2nd, and look here, Caleb Farrell getting racy early on. If I was the points leader coming to this thing, not sure how racy I'd want to get. Another car was up there against the wall, and that was the 07 of Bob Fergus, but it looks like he's okay. As the top 3 now move to single file, Washer, LJ Mills, and Jessica Shelton. And this was important for both Washer and Shelton with the fact that they started the inside line. Points leader Caleb Farrell started on the outside line, and he is still stuck up there. Look at him moving way back now. Levi McIntyre, Eric and Rage splitting in 3 wide. They go by him, and I believe Caleb Farrell may have fallen outside the top 10 already. Oh, red flag in the hands of the flagman on the entrance of pit road, and skid marks in the front straightaway. Our first caution of the day. That didn't take long. They looked like they were racing hard but clean, and apparently something gave. And it looks like Cody Lamas, our winner from Atlanta, could be the cause of our first caution. Trying to see if anybody else was involved, and the way the skid marks are, it looks like it was just a solo car spin on the front straightaway. Looking up here, looks like everybody is good, and this is going to be a big break for that driver, Caleb Farrell. Now it'll be a single file restart rather than getting caught in that high line. Being flanked by both Brandon Crasta and Nick Smith, 2 rookies inside the top 10 in points coming into today's race. And the leaders will not come to pit road, so this will give us the time to look back, see what put us under the caution for the first time here today at Rockingham. And this was a 4-wide situation, almost 5 wide, as Zach Hamlin gets a run on the inside of the left rear of Bob Jones. But contact right there between Cody Hagan and Dylan Young is going to send the 84 up into the 48. Ironic there, reverse numbers. And then Cody Hagan's actually going to get a little piece of his teammate there. The Diet Mountain Dew Chevy getting a little bit of damage on the front grille. Michael Norman, Zach Hamlin taking evasive action going to the grass to avoid the spinning Cody Lamas machine, but we basically got away with a solo car spin here on the front straightaway. The fans that came here and were sitting on the front straightaway seats they definitely got their money's worth watching that, as everybody was able to avoid the spinning Cody Lamas machine. Started 30th. He'll restart at the rear of the field, but I think everybody's going to be able to continue. So let's head back now for the restart. So we'll get ready to go back to green. Chris Washer out in front. Starting on the pole definitely helped him be able to keep his spot at the front of the field, and he is going to restart as the leader. But he's got a lot of company behind him. LJ Mills in second, Jessica Shelton third, both of whom have not yet been to victory lane this season. Luke Walker, who won at Talladega, now he's up here, and look who else is up here. Alex Pedro. I'll tell you, a lot of the drivers who came in running well in points are up here at the front of the field. And apparently they realize track position at this track is very key, and a lot of them putting together good qualifying setups. Tanner Sullivan lines up 6th, Trent Dunham back in 7th, now Eric Enraged 8th, 9th Dylan Thoreau with Levi McIntyre in 10th. There's Brandon Crasta 11th, Caleb Farrell back in 12th, 13th Nick Smith, John Cittadino 13th in points up here in the 14th position, and there is Charles Jackson in the 32, 16th in points. He'll start in the top 15 as the green flag is back out. We're back underway. Chris Washer, LJ Mills both got good jumps. The one caught napping on that restart was Jessica Shelton as Luke Walker comes to her inside. Now here comes LJ Mills, maybe taking a look for the win. Or not the win. Wow. Still got 14 laps to go, you dummy. For the lead, and he will clear him for the lead. Boy, that was one of the worst fails I think I've ever had. Not even halfway, and apparently that's a move for the win. Well done me. Interesting thing, too, is they didn't come to pit road under that caution flag. You gotta wonder if they're gonna have to make pit stops. We do not really know what the fuel window is here. As Chris Washer trying to use a slightly different groove than LJ Mills. LJ was running the middle groove, Washer about a half groove to almost a whole groove lower. Oh, Luke Walker has spun out and almost took the leaders out. And there's no caution for it? Really? 38 now is teleported to his pit stall, and he was running up inside the top 5. We just last saw him trying to take 3rd place away from Jessica Shelton. But we're still green. And he almost was collected by the leaders as his car was stalled on that little area there, that white line separating the racetrack from the apron. Apparently he could not get off of that, and that was nearly a close one. So Luke Walker, who comes into this race 17th in points, our winner from Talladega, in trouble here. And the shame part about it is that it doesn't look like he even has any damage on his car. It looks like he got spun and just couldn't get it refired. But that has spread the top 4 away from everybody else. LJ Mills, Chris Washer, Jessica Shelton, and Trent Dunham are now the top 4. Then back in 5th place, I believe that's Eric Enrage. It is. That's another driver up here at the front that's been having a really strong season. Eric Enrage making his debut here in NNSCRA competition back at Daytona. And Eric comes into this race 11th in points. And to show you just how well rookies have been doing this season, he comes in 11th in points. He is 6th in the standings, which means there's 5 other rookies ahead of him in points that are having great seasons as well. Caleb Farrell, Alex Pedro, Nick Smith, Drew Austin, and Brandon Crasta. One driver inside the top 5 in points we haven't talked about yet is the Blue Deuce of Sean Galligan. Where is he running? Right now he's up in the 16th position, so he's having a pretty good day too. And Luke Walker has returned to the racetrack in that 38 machine. I saw him back there. There he is. But he is 42nd on the scoring monitor right now. Whoa, oh, whoa, careful. Almost getting into Matthew Daly there. And he is 2 laps down right now to the leaders. And the fact that nobody has retired from this race yet, that's a heartbreak for that 38 team. Oh, there goes somebody! Zach Buchanan almost came up into Luke Walker, and that's got to be a caution. You can't tell me that's not a caution. Car is smoking, and there you go. Caution flag is out. And we almost had a battle for 2nd place going on there. Whoa, Jessica moving Chris Washer up the track there. We almost had a good battle going on for 2nd between Jessica Shelton and Chris Washer, but caution out. With 6 to go, we will get back green. But Zach Buchanan, the reason the caution came out, we'll look back a little earlier, though, see what happened to Luke Walker, who looked like he was going to be en route to a great top 10 finish. But it was Zach Buchanan in the end, his wreck on the back straightaway, that brings out the yellow flag for the second time today, and the leaders are not going to pit again. So apparently they are able to make it the full 20 laps on fuel, or are they? We'll find out when we come back. Well, here's a look at what happened to Luke Walker. As I said, this was a battle actually for the 4th position, and the caution flag was already out? Or something. I don't know why the flagman was waving a red flag. But there you see, Tanner Sullivan just going to get into the 38 of Luke Walker. Walker goes sliding through the grass here. There's no grip. That car is going to keep sliding. And he comes back up the track. But I don't understand why the flagman had a red flag in his hand if there was no caution. They did not throw a yellow for the spun out 38. So why was pit road closed? That's something I just don't understand. And here you see Luke Walker going to put the car in reverse, try to turn it around, and right there you can see the I guess that's the rear deck lid just kind of gets caught there, and even with mashing the throttle, he cannot get it off of the pavement there in the turn 1 area. But where's the pace car? I just got to figure this out. Lights aren't even on, and yet the flagman had a red flag in his hand. That just doesn't make sense to me if there wasn't any caution out. But that's the heartbreak there for Luke Walker. Gets spun in turn 4, slides all the way over to turn 1, and it's a wonder that those leaders did not hit him either, because they were awfully close. But a tough break for Luke, who was running inside the top 10. Now let's take a look and see what actually brought out the caution. Zach Buchanan on the back straightaway. And Zach Buchanan, who came into this race 24th in points, going to have a little bit of help here, courtesy of the number 8 of Mason Wood. Turns him down the racetrack, and wow. That's one thing about Rockingham. The high speeds bring hard impact wrecks. And you could just see the impact it had on that U.S. Army Chevy Silverado. Car immediately erupts in smoke. And Luke Walker, a bad day almost turned significantly worse for him, as he almost got collected in that. Fortunately, it was about mid-pack and everybody was able to stay to the high side to avoid, but a tough break nonetheless for Zach Buchanan. Let's find out how many laps we're going to have left to go when we go back green. Will it be a green-white checkered? Will it be a one-lap shootout? We'll find out when you do, as we'll head back now to live action. And the flagman has indicated one more lap to go. Green-white checker will finish off today's Rockingham 200 at North Carolina Speedway. Let's take a look and analyze the top 5 here on this 2-lap restart. LJ Mills comes into this race running really badly in the point standings, but he's a former winner this season at another North Carolina track, and that was at Charlotte in the Mobil 1 Cup Series. Chris Washer coming in with a lot of momentum after picking up the win last time out at Pocono. Jessica Shelton hasn't been to victory lane since Stunt Road of last season. She's looking for her first win of Season 8. Trent Dunham having a very struggling season and is a former champion in this series. Really needs a win to get himself even up into contention for a possible wildcard spot to go for 2 championships. And Alex Pedro, who's been so consistent this season, still looking for that win. He comes into this race 4th in overall points and 2nd in rookie points. Don't count out anybody in that top 5. They may have something here for the leader, LJ Mills. As the flagman's ready, we're back green, white checkered. If the caution comes out, the race will be over at the stripe. Jessica Shelton again struggling on the restarts. Had trouble on the first restart, has trouble again. Trent Dunham by for 3rd. Here comes Pedro for 4th. Watching here, though, seeing if Washer may try making any move on the LJ Mills machine. Trent Dunham starting to close in. If that battle for 2nd heats up, LJ may be able to run away with it. As the white flag is displayed one more time, it's LJ Mills, Chris Washer, Trent Dunham. Those are going to be the 3 to settle it out. Will Washer get any kind of a run here? Think about it, too. Chris Washer was the guy who passed Trent Dunham for the win at Pocono last week. Will Dunham try and return the favor by trying to take 2nd away here in the final lap? As LJ Mills still with about a car length in hand coming out of turn 4. What a rookie season he's been having in NNSCRA competition, as he's going to pick up his first Truck Series win of his career, 2nd win of his NNSCRA career, and takes the checkered flag here at Rockingham. He got by Chris Washer, never looked back, and LJ Mills, he's won in his rookie season in Mobil 1 Cup Series this season and now wins in trucks. Both wins coming at tracks in the state of North Carolina. How interesting is that? Wow. What a great run there for that 42 team. A well-needed victory, too. As I said at the top of the program, they come into this race 32nd in points, third to last in rookie points. So this is going to be a great momentum booster for this team. Not able to get 2 in a row, but Chris Washer in that 5 team, last 2 starts, they have an average of 1.5 as they won last time out, and they get second place here today. Great run for Trent Dunham, too. We talked about he's been needing a really good run. He really needs a win, but a great run nonetheless in third. Alex Pedro finishes fourth, and Jessica Shelton, despite her trouble on restarts here, is still able to hang on to a top 5 finish. 6th place, Tanner Sullivan. Eric and Rage in 7th. Nick Smith, 8th. John Trollston's going to finish out the day in 9th. Didn't talk about the 29 all day long. And Carson Gum, a great run for the 55 team, as he'll finish out in the top 10. But as you look at the top 10 here, you got 5 drivers who come into this race inside the top 15. Actually, no, 6 who come in inside the top 15 in points. Washer, Pedro, Shelton, Eric and Rage, Nick Smith, and Carson Gum. Let's find out where the points leader coming into today's race, where he finishes it out. Caleb Farrell, 18th place here today, with where Washer finished. He finished 16 spots ahead. Caleb Farrell's going to still hold on to the points lead, but it's going to get cut down quite a chunk now. I believe it's going to be a total now of only 6 points separating rookie Caleb Farrell from Chris Washer. Jessica Shelton's going to close in some ground as well, I believe, according to the calculations in my head, which normally are not always correct, but I believe she's now closed it up to 11 points, separating her from Caleb Farrell. So the top 3 are going to be separated by only 11 points. Actually, if I'm correct, I believe 11 points separating the top 4 is, I believe, Alex Pedro is also going to be 11 points back heading into our next Truck Series event. So hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Links to those places are in the description. Next 2 venues that we head to are going to be in Canada. We are heading to a doubleheader road course race in Canada, where we're going to be heading, I believe, first we are going to, I believe it's Canadian Tire Motor Park, and then after that, I believe we're heading to Montreal. I may be incorrect in that, but I think those are the 2 places we're going to. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm pretty certain those are where we're going. So, going to be an interesting battle north of the border. We saw what kind of racing we had, road course racing, in the Snickers Cup Series when we went up to Canada at Tres Rivières in Quebec. Gotta wonder what kind of racing we're going to see in Truck Series competition, as that's going to be the 1-2 punch before the chase field is put together, too. So these drivers that joined up for Truck Series competition, they certainly have their hands full as far as trying to make the chase if they're not that good at road courses. But we'll see you guys next time. We still got to finish out this race weekend here at The Rock. We got 2 more races. Mobile and Snickers Cup Series competition going to be coming your way from this historical racetrack. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.